DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, new school construction is on the horizon with the passage of a $1.1 billion bond bill. Plus, 2 young children are rescued from a burning car today, and you can expect record-breaking traffic if you're traveling for the 4th. Details straight ahead. Those stories and much more coming up tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us this Tuesday night. Here's what's making headlines across the first state. To end this legislative session, Delaware lawmakers have passed a $1.1 billion capital spending plan that's commonly known as the bond bill. This plan funds a variety of construction and infrastructure projects across the state, from roadways to new buildings and parks and community initiatives. Notably, the plan allocates $200.4 million for education, targeting large-scale projects, including school buildings and other improvements. The Newcastle County Vocational Technical School District, for instance, receives $54 million for a new Hodgson Votech High School. The Colonial School District secures $37.5 million for a new John G. Leach School. It's in Bear. And Sussex Technical High School gets $57 million for a new campus. Renovations in the Red Clay Consolidated School District will also benefit from $8.7 million in state funds. To Sussex County now, the city of Rehoboth Beach has scheduled a special meeting next week to ratify the terms of the new city manager's compensation package following a FOIA violation. On June 26, the Attorney General's office found that discussions about Taylor Tedder's contract were apparently improperly held in a closed executive session. Now the city will hold a public comment period followed by a Board of Commissioners vote on Tedder's compensation. Tedder's package includes a $250,000 annual salary, $50,000 for moving expenses, and a $750,000 housing loan forgiven after 7 years. The agenda is available online at the website below. And the Wilmington Fire Department and quick-acting Good Samaritans are being praised today for their efforts in rescuing 2 children from a car fire. The fire department reports the car fire broke out Monday night around 7:30 near A and South Walnut Street. When responding, the fire department learned that an 8-month-old baby and a 5-year-old had been trapped in the car. When they arrived, they learned that employees at a nearby detailing shop had pulled them from the car. The children were treated at the scene and transported to the hospital, suffering from extensive 2nd and 3rd degree burns. They were admitted to the trauma center in serious condition. The driver of the car, the children's mother, was able to escape the burning car and was also transported to the hospital with severe burns. At this time, there is no information about what caused the car to catch fire. And state police are investigating a fatal 3-car crash that took place in North Wilmington on Monday. Happened around 4 in the afternoon in the 1100 block of Wilson Road. It's in Brandywine 100. Troopers responded to the scene for reports of a 3-car head-on collision. Upon their arrival, authorities said 2 people in 2 of the vehicles were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. An elderly man in the 3rd vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. State police have not released the victim's identity or what led to this crash. Delaware State Police are also investigating an armed robbery that occurred this morning at a Walgreens in Newark. This happened shortly after 8 a.m. at the Pulaski Highway Walgreens. Police said an unknown black male suspect armed with a firearm approached an employee and demanded money from the safe. The employee complied, and the suspect ran in an unknown direction with an undisclosed amount of cash. The suspect is described as a black male wearing dark-colored clothing. Surveillance video and images of the suspect are not yet available. Anyone with information is asked to call Delaware State Police. And a state investigation into alleged child abuse at Holly Oak Child Care Center here in Wilmington has left families scrambling for alternative care. Following staff shortages and abuse allegations, the center closed its toddler and infant rooms, prompting parents to seek other arrangements. Concerns about an employee's treatment of children emerged recently, leading to a state probe into multiple issues at the facility that's located on Philadelphia Pike. Since mid-May, state authorities have substantiated several claims, including failure to report suspected abuse and improper discipline. The daycare's board of directors stated that they are cooperating with officials, but declined to comment further. Parents and former teachers worried about the investigation's thoroughness have shared evidence with the state investigators as well as the media. And state police are also seeking the public's assistance in tracking down an alleged carjacker who remains at large following an incident that occurred over the weekend. According to reports, the suspect threatened another man with a gun at the Sunoco station on Route 273 in Newcastle. The incident occurred around 9 p.m. when the suspect approached the victim, brandished a firearm, and demanded the victim's phone and car keys. After obtaining those items, the suspect fled northbound on Airport Road in the victim's vehicle. Authorities have described the suspect's details as limited right now, and surveillance images from the scene are not yet made available. Police are urging anyone with information related to this incident to come forward and call 302-365-8413. You can also send a private Facebook message to Delaware State Police or contact Delaware Crime Stoppers at the number seen there on your screen. And two incidents involving gunfire in Kent County over the weekend are under investigation by local authorities. Dover police reported that 4 homes and 2 vehicles in the Manchester Square neighborhood were struck by gunfire late Friday night. The incident occurred around shortly before 11 p.m. No injuries were reported. Authorities are urging anyone with information about the incident to contact Dover Police at 302-736-7130 or again, call Delaware Crime Stoppers. Now, in a separate incident, Delaware State Police are investigating a shooting near Harrington. An apparently occupied home on Yellowwood Drive was hit by gunfire Sunday night around 6:15. 2 adults and 2 children were inside the home at the time, and no injuries were reported. Fortunately, anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to contact the Troop 3 Criminal Investigations Unit and the number seen there on your screen. And some more new legislation here in the first state. This one tightens regulations for firearms on college campuses. House Bill 311, passed by the Delaware General Assembly, allows for charging anyone carrying a firearm on campus under the Safe School Zone criminal offense. Delaware State University's police chief supports this law, citing a recent campus tragedy you may remember where a shooting resulted in a visitor's death. He believes the legislation sends a clear message against bringing weapons to campus without authorization. Students hope it will discourage people from carrying guns on campus. Officials say the law supports efforts to enhance campus safety and security. The police department will review procedures to align with state law and best practices. Of course, everyone is encouraged to report any suspicious activity around all of our college campuses here in Delaware. And starting this year, the state of Delaware is taking action on those noisy dogs. House Bill 124, passed in the final days of the legislative session, addresses noise complaints about barking dogs. The bill, awaiting the governor's signature now, imposes new state penalties on pet owners for excessive animal noise and designates the Office of Animal Welfare as the enforcing body. Under House Bill 124, a noise violation occurs when a dog barks continuously for 15 minutes or intermittently for 30 minutes. Initially, violators receive a warning, with fines increasing from $50 to $150 for repeat offenses. Exceptions include dogs provoked or guarding property. This bill resolves a long-standing dispute between the Newcastle County and state over dog barking enforcement, shifting responsibilities to state officers. And the House of Representatives passed Senate Bill 265 on Sunday, setting the stage for offshore wind energy procurement. The bill aims to develop infrastructure for carbon-free energy. The bill authorizes DENREC's State Energy Office, the Delaware Public Service Commission, and the Delaware Renewable Energy Task Force to create a solicitation for offshore wind. After public comment, the Public Service Commission will approve the solicitation and review proposals. Proposals must meet all statutory conditions, including a price cap of 110% of the benchmark price. The State Energy Office will draft a contract with the successful bidder if a suitable proposal is found. The State Energy Office is directed to procure up to 1,200 megawatts of electricity for Delaware's public utilities. Other entities may also purchase this electricity. Proposals must have a term of at least 20 years and meet benchmark pricing guidelines. The bill now heads to the governor's office for signing. And Milford City Council has approved design plans for a new water tower in the northwest part of the city. This follows 5 years of work, but the project awaits a community referendum vote. Currently, Milford has 4 water towers in busy areas, but the Northwest is growing rapidly. Milford's mayor highlighted the need for improved water infrastructure to support this development. The proposed 300,000-gallon tower will be near Churchill Road to meet increased water demand from a new corporate center. The mayor hopes the growth will prevent tax or fee hikes. The project, estimated at about $7 million, requires voter approval due to a $500,000 planned loan. The referendum will decide the project's fate, with mixed opinions from residents. And record-breaking travel is expected this week across the country and here in Delaware. Road trips are up 5% from last year, with over 88% of Delawareans driving to their July 4th destinations. Nationwide, nearly 71 million Americans will travel for the holiday. That's again a 5% increase from the previous year. AAA reports that over 200,000 Delawareans will travel 50 miles or more from home. 7.1% of Delawareans will fly to their holiday destinations, and 4.5% of us will use other modes of transportation to get there. Nationwide, over 60 million will drive and nearly 6 million will fly. Speaking of flying, TSA screened a record 2.99 million passengers as of the end of June and expects to top 3 million here very soon. And to round it out, 4.6 million Americans will travel by bus, train, or cruise. AAA advises vehicle inspections to prevent breakdowns, battery issues, and tire problems. Top AAA domestic destinations include Seattle, Orlando, Anchorage, Alaska, Honolulu, Hawaii, and of course, Miami. Internationally, travelers favor Vancouver, London, Rome, Dublin, and Paris. For more on Delaware-specific travel, of course, you can check out our friends over at DelDOT. And before we sign off this evening, speaking of travel, the beloved Cape May Lewis Ferry is celebrating a major milestone this week as it continues to link Delaware and New Jersey and drive tourism in the region. The first ever passage of the Cape May Lewis Ferry between Delaware and New Jersey occurred on July 1st, 1964. According to the Delaware River and Bay Authority, that maiden voyage transported 8 vehicles and 15 passengers from Lewis over to Cape May. Exactly 60 years later, the ferry service has taken more than, listen to this, 17 million vehicles and over 50 million customers across the Delaware Bay. In recognition of its 60th anniversary, the Delaware River and Bay Authority says they have kicked off a week-long celebration with a special commemorative ticket from that maiden voyage back in 1964. Ferrygoers can also expect a throwback fare pricing, signature drinks, promotional giveaways, and more. For details on the Cape May Lewis Ferry's 60th anniversary and week-long celebration, you can find that on their website. 60 years, pretty incredible. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us all across our social media platforms, and for a look at what's happening all around Delaware, head to our website. That's detvch.com. And of course, if you have a comment, question, or a news tip, we would appreciate hearing from you. You can reach us at press@detvch.com. With tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. We'll see you then. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and nurse navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.